Determination of calorific value of a solid fuel by bomb calorimeter. The principle of bomb calorimeter is amount of heat liberated is equal to amount of heat absorbed by water and copper calorimeter. The apparatus, the arrangement of bomb calorimeter is as shown in the figure. It's going to contain a bomb calorimeter which is made airtight. Then it is having the two electrodes and it is having one inlet pipe to provide the oxygen, and a crucible is kept in support of one of the electrode, and the weight quantity of fuel is kept inside this calorimeter, and it is connected with a fine magnesium wire. Then the entire thing is made airtight, neither anything can go inside nor anything can come out of it. So this entire setup, again, it is dipped into or immersed into another tank, another container, that is a copper calorimeter, which is having a known quantity of water, and it is fitted with a mechanical stirrer and Beckman's thermometer. The purpose of using the Beckman's thermometer is to measure the exact quantity of heat liberated by burning the fuel. Then this copper calorimeter is kept inside one more container, that is a stainless steel container, so that there should not be loss of energy due to radiation. Now the same thing we are going to explain. So the construction, the bomb calorimeter consists of an outer cylindrical steel vessel with airtight screw and inlet for oxygen. The bomb has a platinum crucible with a loop of wire. See, sometimes we can use a platinum or even other crucibles also do the work. Most of the time we are going to use for the steel crucible. Then the ends of this wire is projected out and can be connected to the source of a electric current. The bomb is immersed in a rectangular vessel that we call as a calorimeter, containing a water, containing a weight quantity of water, which is continuously stirred, and it is fitted with a Beckman's thermometer so that it can measure the amount of heat liberated. The working, a known mass of a fuel is made into a pellet and it is taken into a crucible. Oxygen is passed through the bomb. A known mass of a water is taken in a calorimeter and is closed with a lid. The initial temperature of water is noted. The ends of a wire are connected to electric source so as to ignite the fuel. The heat is released and it is absorbed by water. The temperature of a water rises, and the maximum temperature is noted down. The calculation. So let M be the mass of a fuel. Capital W is the mass of a water. Small w, it indicates the mass water equivalent to calorimeter. T1 indicates the initial temperature of a water. T2 indicates the final temperature of a water, whereas small s indicates the specific heat of a water. Therefore, GCV becomes solid fuel is GCV of a solid fuel is equal to W plus W, the capital W plus W into T2 minus T1 into S divided by M. Now, so this is the equation which is used for the determination of GCV of a solid fuel. Similarly, we are going to calculate the NCV of a fuel. So NCV of a fuel is calculated if supposing that if a fuel contains X percentage of hydrogen, the NCV of a fuel can be calculated as follows. That is, two atoms of a hydrogen produces one molecule of water. So it means that 2 grams of hydrogen produces 18 grams of water. So if X is the gram of hydrogen present in a X gram of hydrogen is present, then 9 gram of water is going to be produced. Therefore, X percentage of hydrogen is equal to 9 into X grams of water, which is going to come as 0.09 into X grams, X gram, uh, X gram of X gram divided by 100 of H2O, that is water. Therefore, NCV is equal to GCV minus latent heat of steam formed. That is equal to GCV minus 0.09 into X. X here in this case is nothing but it's a percentage of a hydrogen that is present in a given sample of a fuel multiplied by the latent heat of a steam. Then that's why the GCV is NCV is equal to GCV minus 0.09 into X percentage of hydrogen into 2454 kilojoules per kg. Kilojoules per 254 indicates the latent heat of a steam which is produced during the formation. Therefore, using this equation, it is possible to find out the amount of GCV as well as LCV. So here are the some problems which we can see through, which we can solve, and we can get the calorific value of a fuel. So when point first first example, when 0.84 grams of a coal is burnt completely in a bomb calorimeter, the increase in the temperature of 2655 grams of water was 1.85 degrees centigrade. If water equivalent of calorimeter is 156 grams, calculate the GCV. So how we are supposed to solve this problem? So we know that GCV is equal to W plus W into S into delta T divided by M. So the W plus W, it gives the mass of a water and water equivalent of a calorimeter, whereas the S is nothing but it's a specific heat, whereas delta T is nothing but the difference in the initial temperature, final and initial temperature. So by substituting the values, we know that the capital W in this case is 265. This is the amount. Then the amount of water equivalent to calorimeter, that is 156 grams. So these two things we are going to add up. So then it will be multiplied into 10 to the power minus 3 so that it can be converted into kg. The units of this gross calorific values is mentioned in terms of kilojoules. That's why it is multiplied with the 10 to the power minus 3. And the difference in the temperature is 1.85, and the specific heat of this water, the specific heat of the steam is 4.187. So by simplifying this one, we are going to get it as 2591 921.26 kilojoules of 26 kilojoules per kg of calorific value we are going to get the coal sample which we have burnt. Similarly, you can go for one more problem, that is calculate GCV and NCV of a fuel from the following data. So they have given you some of the data. So using that one, we are going to calculate the high calorific value and low calorific value. Just take the example, the mass of the fuel, that is W1, mass of the fuel which is equal to W, that is 0.75 grams. The capital W is 350, that is water taken in a calorimeter is 350 grams. Whereas the change the change in a temperature is taken as 3.02 degrees centigrade. The mass of a water that is taken in a calorimeter is 1150 grams. The percentage of a hydrogen, they have given it as 2.8. So substituting, we know that GCV is equal to W plus W into delta T into S divided by M. So here in this case, W is 1150, whereas small w, that is water equivalent to calorimeter, is taken as 350 grams. So sum of these two, it's going to come around 1500. So that we are going to get. Then it will be multiplied with the 10 to the power minus 3. So as to convert it in terms of kilojoules, we are multiplying it with a 10 to the power minus 3. Then the change in the temperature, that is difference in the T2 minus T1, it is taken as 3.102. So then the specific heat remains the constant, that is 4.18 4 divided by mass of the fuel. Mass of the fuel is given as 0.75 grams. That has to be converted into kg. So that's why it is multiplied with 10 to the power minus 3. So by simplifying this entire thing, we are going to get it as 25,271.36 kilojoules per kg of gross calorific value we are going to get. Similarly, we are supposed to calculate the low calorific value. So we know that the low calorific value can be determined by using equation, that is NCV is equal to GCV minus 0.09 into H% into 857 into 4.184. So we know that the 4.184 is a conversion for, or it is called as a specific heat, whereas the latent heat of a steam is taken as 587. On simplification, we are going to get it as 25,200 25,271.36 minus 0.09 into the percentage of hydrogen. It's going to be 2.8. Substitute that one and the other terminologies. So at the end, we are going to get NCV is equal to 24,652.44 kilojoules per kg. So if you see the two things, we usually says in the theory that GCV is always greater than the NCV. You can find the same thing. GCV is higher than the NCV. In this way, we are going to solve the problems based on this BOM's calorimeter. Similarly, I've solved one more problem, that is again here in this case, calculate GCV and NCV of a fuel from the following data. They have given mass of a fuel, that is that is mass of the fuel, that is M is equal to 0.83 grams, whereas the capital W is equal to 3,500 grams, whereas the water equivalent of calorimeter, they have taken it as a 385 grams, and T2 is 29.2 degrees centigrade, whereas the T1 is 26.5 degrees centigrade, and the percentage of hydrogen is taken as 0.7, and the specific heat is equal to 4.2 kilojoules per kg per degree, we are going to say. So we know that GCV is equal to W plus W into delta T into S divided by M. Substituting the values of W, that is 3,500 grams is there, that is written as 3.5. That is, it is already converted into a kgs. So that's why it is written as 3.5 into 10 to the plus 0.385, which is the weight of water equivalent to the calorimeter. Then the difference in the two temperature, that is T2 minus T1, that is 29.2 minus 26.5 into 4.2. So after simplification, we are going to get GCV is equal to GCV is equal to 53,079.39 kilojoules per kg. Similarly, we are going for the calculation of NCV. We know that NCV is equal to GCV minus 0.09 into hydrogen percentage into 587 into 4.184, that is a specific heat. On simplification, we are going to get it as NCV is equal to 52,924.07 kilojoules per kg of energy is liberated. So in this way, we are going to calculate the NCV and GCV of any fuel using the given data.